my movement quite a bit. But I'm going to be painting my T-60 chucks. Well, adding details to it. I'm using a super cheap acrylic paint that I bought in Korea. It's like whatever this is. It's basically just black acrylic paint. This black, this was originally just to clean my paintbrush, but I found it basically became a wash for me. So we're going to start, I think, on the bucket first. And once I get done with the bucket, I'll move elsewhere. I'm debating on grabbing another t-shirt because this one's kind of really dark. No one's really joined yet. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? His hobbies. He has a really cool YouTube channel, so definitely check him out. I do share his stuff on my Instagram from time to time. He's a good guy. Alright, got other shirt. It's a long standing shirt, but it's old. So let's get this show rolling. Problem with like this kind of paint is trying to just get a little bit out. Maybe not so much today. Already got paint all over me. For this kind of work, you definitely want to use a crappier paintbrush. Like if you're using something that costs like $20 or more, you're making bad life choices. But then again, you probably wouldn't be cosplaying if you've made a lot of good life choices. This costs like $1, maybe $2. It's more than adequate. So I'm going to get a little bit of paint on here, get extra dampy, and I'm just going to stroke it down here. I know this looks really bad, right? Because it looks bad. But it's okay because we're going to be rubbing most of this off. You just have to be fast. That's why it's actually super difficult to do a large area like this. And you want to rub it down in one direction to kind of make, it's kind of making grains in the metal, right? Cool thing about this decal, it doesn't really want to hold on to paint well. And I'm using that to my full advantage. Because I don't really want it to get with these black marks. If I'm missing your comments, I do apologize. I just have to be very, very quick with this stuff. Because time is a resource that's very defined when I'm doing something like this. Oh, I just saw the decal kind of came up. I just pushed it back in and hopefully that works. I know a lot of you probably thought this was like super hard or some ancient technique passed down by ancient Egyptians from aliens and stuff, but nah. It's super easy. Just old towel or t-shirt and speed. Yeah, I'm gonna glue that with some white glue. Now this is just a primary hit and go phase. Like I'm going to hit the details I want extra dark in a little bit. So I'm not too worried. Like I want darkness in there, but first I want um, overall darkness. Notice how I'm pushing down in one direction. I already said it, but just for folks that just trying. Now, there's some portions up here that are not getting affected. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna hit it again. Also, this is very similar to cooking. You can always add more, but you can't take away, or it's a real pain in the butt to take away. So, don't go super heavy the first few times. Build up your coats, and so you could figure out where you want it to be. And like I said, I wanted these parts here to be dark, and inside these little bolt thingies to be dark. This will really make it pop in the end. In a second here, I'll read y'all's comments if there is any. But if you guys are getting bored just watching, if you guys have watched any good movies recently, that'd be cool. I don't really want to add rust because I'm scared of adding too much of one. I don't want to overdo it. And I've seen so many really cool cosplays. It looked initially painted and then the person just keeps on going and going and going. And then it's like, oh, you should have stopped like 4 or 5 steps behind there. So I'm just going to keep it a sort of like an oiled up metal look. Like whoever's trying to keep this armor wants it. They want it to look good. And honestly, if I was like in a, oh shoot. Let's see if I can rub this away. See this little bit of blackness sneaked in there. Okay, cool. So it's rubbing off pretty well. I wanted blackness, but I don't want black. You know what I mean? So it's like super easy. And the thing is like, don't go buying the best paints and paint brushes for stuff like this. You want to get adequate, but you know what's adequate? The $2 paintbrush. The $5 big thing of paint. Like this was only $5. You're not going to be painting the Mona Lisa over here. Now, if you're doing shade shadowing, yeah, spend a little bit more money on paint. That's so outside my realm of possibilities. It's not even funny, but it looks so good. I've seen so many really, really good looking. Mostly Gundam cosplays where it was cell shaded. Sorry, horrible at the speaks. I know most of my fans are from America. I live in Korea, so our things that we're dealing with is totally different than what y'all are dealing with. But how is everything going with you guys? If you're wondering like, oh, is the rent in Korea going up? Yeah, it is too. I think it's kind of happening everywhere except for like maybe Japan. But Japan is super selective on who they let in for good reasons. Because they got stuff running there really, really well, and they don't want to mess it up by just letting any joker in. Similar to Korea, like I work nights and I've been walking my dog 3 o'clock in the morning at nighttime. Usually if it's like a few $100s in my pocket, I'm not even worried about it. They have like a very low tolerance for crime here, so if you do mess up, especially if you're a foreigner, you're screwed. You're not having a good time. So I'm pretty stoked about that because it makes my life much more safe. The only bad thing that's ever happened was a few weeks ago, some students decided to burn my dog's tail. I don't know if it was on accident or on purpose, but as you can tell, it's still on my mind and it still upsets me because I might have to give him a surgery because it's not healing properly and the doctor's worried about that. So that's the thing I gotta deal with too. And there were foreigner students, not Korean students. Korean students, the dudes are actually scared of my dog, but the girl's like, oh yes, I want to pet your dog now. And it's like, yes, you can. You want to talk to me? No? Okay, cool. It's so weird. Like the Korean females love big ass dogs. Korean dudes, not so much. I know I'm kind of rambling, but I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about while painting this because it's basically the same things. You hit the parts that you want super dark, extra time after you do initial darkening. And time is not on your side, so you have to be kind of Johnny quick with it. A Band of Brothers reference. God, I think that movie's like 30 years old now, or just about. So hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, I'm sitting in frame, and you can tell like this is the dark, this is the normal silver. It looks noticeably different. And the details will just pop out a lot more, especially in this inside bucket because it actually has more things going on. And you just keep on going quickly. Probably went too far. Push down. Basically, like if for a wood reference, you go with the grain. But here we're making the grain. And this actual front armor is not actually welded on, just bolted on these 2 points here. We'll see how long I can last because I'm doing this on my knees. It's not like uber uncomfortable, but it's not great. Oh shoot! Talking about not great, but potentially good. Just recently saw that Godzilla movie, Godzilla -1, and that was pretty good. But it's honestly, if you read underneath the text, it's definitely a movie about a guy with survivor's guilt and PTSD, and like every time his life is like, oh hey, things are about to get good. Somehow gets worse. but it's a really good movie, and it's amazing what good writing and good cinematology can actually do for the small budget. Because they had I think maybe just double the cost of one Acolyte episode budget, but arguably could say it's much better. I know some people will say, "Oh, the Acolyte's really, really good." Some people will say, "No, it's not." I don't have Disney Plus, so I can't say it without what I've just heard from like the interwebs. Like I heard the fight scenes are really, really good, but like the dialogue's like horrible. But I'm trying to save money. I'm not trying to have like 400 streaming services. Like I think Netflix should be enough. And I have DVDs of like the Clone Wars I could always watch if I really want to get some Star Wars fixing. Oh, and talking about like free stuff. There was like this Gundam movie from like 1988. Oh, it's super brutal. It's like the opening scene. It's like a battle going on in a city, and like this lady's carrying her kid, and she gets hit in the head, and the shell literally murks her, and it's like whoa. And I was like, hey, this is the beginning of the movie, dude. Have a good time. It's like, all right, so this is the tempo that we're working with. And then like there's one TV show I highly recommend everyone to see. It's from the 90s called Starship Troopers Roughnecks. So good. I remember watching it as a kid. But it's totally free on YouTube now. Because someone uploaded it and YouTube hasn't taken it down for like, I don't know, 7 years. So either the creators of the show is like, hey, I'm just stoked someone likes my show, or they just don't know. Now you see how it kind of looks like Dookie if I pull away. So you really want to pull in one direction. I don't really like this shirt, how flexy it is. The other one has like a little bit more girth to it. This one, just because how old it is and how many times I wash it, is so thin. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's a Starship Troopers Traders of Mars armor on Thanksgiver, or not Thanksgiver, 3D Colts that I already bought, and I so want to print it. It's so good. Like Starship Troopers 1, super good. Starship Troopers 2, we don't talk about. The third one is kind of weird, but it's passable. And I think the fourth one is the one for the singing dude, and that's not great, but not horrible. At least the main Rico comes back to that show. Comes back to the movie. Other TV show I really, really love, and it's almost like a cult kind of classic, is Babylon 5. And for me, this is going to probably make some people sad. I think it's better than Star Trek. The story was much more tight. And the overall story, what they were trying to tell, was more compelling to me. Because it was like overarching 5 seasons. It's like, we're going to tell one story. It's not like, oh hey, we're going to go to this planet and this planet likes gangsters or something. Like, okay, cool. Let's deal with these dicks. super stoked I decided to wear pants, because sometimes I don't. By the way, I think it was Paramount, because Paramount, I think, has the rights to Babylon 5, unfortunately, because I think they're going under. They did an animated Babylon 5 last year. I haven't seen it. I need to watch it before it disappears, because that might disappear, unfortunately. With that being said, I think if you do like Paramount TV shows, watch them now before they're gone, because who knows what's going to happen. They're in some big financial problems. The Star Trek show didn't do good. I won't lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I hate the Halo TV show. Halo was my first sci-fi video game I really ever had. And to see what they did to it, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Yeah. Like, I do want to do a Halo armor cosplay. Maybe a Kurt or Jamon version, but my own, because I kind of do my own thing. Like, I've read almost every single Halo book that there is. Also, I read the Starship Troopers book in basic training. It was one of the few books you were allowed to read back then. And it was dry, but it was good, because it was basically telling you, hey, do stuff for your country. Do stuff for your community. Don't be selfish. That's basically the book. And somehow people misunderstand the book because they're idiots. Or they're just selfish pricks. Oh, like, realistically, the chest, the only things on any of these armors that are extra bigger than normal is actually the shins and the forearms. Everything else I just scaled maybe just a little bit down to me, because I'm a smaller guy. Because if you look at all the armors, it's just the shins and the feet, because your feet actually don't go into the feet, your feet go into the shins. So those are the only things that are not one-to-one scale on any of my armors. Like a helmet, basically one-to-one, maybe a little bit smaller, because for some reason they definitely made it like I think a horse could fit into like the full-size one. Like, the snout is so long. Oh, talking about helmets. So I'm working on the X02 helmet. That's printing right now. That's what you can hear in the background. The T-51 helmet is totally complete, except for like a couple of tubes. And now I'm working on the T-45 helmet again. Hopefully I don't make a mistake on the scaling. So I'm probably going to have almost all the armor helmets done. Oh, and in the background, you can kind of see it. The X01 helmet is done. And it looks really good. I already glued it together. I haven't made a video or really talking about it, because it seems like on the weekends, no one sees my videos. So I was like, okay, I'll just wait until the weekdays where more people will actually see something. Like, I put out a Berserk video, basically laying out where I got my Berserk files and stuff, thinking, oh, that's going to be popular. Like, I think it's like 90 views on a short, which is like horrifically bad. Like, that's a Mary Sue episode bad. I just got done, I got recommended for a Mary Sue, I think it was a short of an interview, and it only had like 90 views. It's like, wow, that's a supposedly newspaper with 90 views. So it really makes you think how many views that actual website was getting back in the day when it was actually still around. Like that, I think YouTube showing people the views of different websites and TV stations and stuff like that, YouTube videos, is super crucial because it breaks that myth of, oh, this is a very important place to get your information. Because if no one else is really watching it, it's really low views, are they giving bad information, or is it not really appealing to many people? So you have to wonder about that stuff, because you, like, if you watch certain news organizations, you go, oh, this is the mainstream, these people has a zeitgeist of mainstream America, I should feel confident. And then you go and see the actual views. It's like guys playing freaking Uno, like the Vinehouse crew playing freaking Uno is getting more views than these guys, and these guys are supposedly the arbiters of truth. So I don't know if that's something to say about our society, or basically the media trying to say we are super important, but almost no one's listening to it. And that's good. I just hit that for some extra metal paint. One thing I'd be super disappointed with if YouTube ever took away the view count so everyone could see how many views a video is getting. Or, God forbid, take away the count for how many comments a video is getting. Because, like, you should kind of know how many people are saying something. I think everyone should. So you tell how worried or something you might be or more concerned about. Like, I don't really like how they hide the likes and dislikes, to be honest. Hey, thanks. The printer's a Neptune 3 Plus. Or you're talking to that other bro. I do wish I could be playing music on this, because I really don't want to talk this much. It feels like I'm just talking to myself, and I don't want a common kind of thing, because how would I tell I'm not going crazy? I guess if my dog starts talking back to me, then I definitely know I'm crazy, but hashtag that hasn't happened yet. Knock on fake wood, it doesn't. If you guys are looking for stuff to talk about and to keep it nice and PC and fun, what's your favorite cryptid and why? I just got done watching a Roanoke video. He's like a bioscientist bro, and he just did a Wendigo cryptid video, and that was actually pretty fun. The movie looks pretty good. I think it's called Horn. Kind of want to check it out. Now, you can expand cryptids to supernatural creatures if you don't have a cryptid, or you don't really know what cryptids are. Because a lot of cryptids can be considered supernatural, and a lot of supernatural are cryptids. take a break in here a second. I think the next Fallout thing I'm going to do is probably going to be a NCR Ranger helmet. And to be completely honest, I'm not a real fan of the NCR. Definitely more a Brotherhood of Steel kind of bro. I really wish you could play a video game where the Brotherhood of Steel are not side characters, but actual the main characters, or like you could side fit them, and the whole entire game could have a ending where I guess they could win, quote unquote, instead of being the blunt of a joke and just having a bad time all the damn time. Or what would be kind of cool, like in Halo 4, you start off in the past, and you do a little bit of stuff, and then you play the rest of the game. So you do a little bit of story mode. What would be kind of illustrating is where the game is based on the Brotherhood of Steel, but you're there from the very beginning, from the camp where they were experimenting on POWs. To 200 some odd years into the future. That's when you're actual free to roam around, do stuff. The game starts. And maybe you play as the new leader of Brotherhood of Steel, and we're going to go in a new direction. And depending on what new direction that is like more protectorate direction. Is like, hey, we're going to protect the peoples of the wasteland. Or more totalitarian direction, where it's like we are going to rule the wasteland. That'd be kind of fun. Because I know a lot of people like playing as a vault drawer, and you live in your modern day values and moral system. But the wasteland's not really good place to have those kind of hardcore value systems at. You know what I mean? It's a fun way to die. Unless you have plot armor. This is really not going to be ever seen, you know, so I'm not going to paint it. That's the other thing. It's like when you're doing cosplay, you can try to paint all these nooks and crannies. Maybe someone will go by and, you know, expect it or something. Or you could go, no one's ever going to see this. Why paint it? Or why put additional effort into something? Hey, Alex, or AX13. That's cool to hear. I hope you're have a good time and see all my mistakes, so you don't have to do them. Because I'm looking at how many rolls of filament for my X1, X01, and it's kind of disheartening. Because I think it's easily in the 30s, and a lot of it's due to mistakes and failed prints. And a lot of supports that I probably didn't really need. I was talking to this guy who was thinking about getting a suit of armor from an Etsy seller for $2,000, and he was wanting my opinion, and it's like I shouldn't give you my opinion on how you spend your money because I don't think that's cool. But for $2,000, you could buy 4 Neptune 3 pluses and all the filament that you need to print your own armor. But you're just going to have to do more work. But you're always going to have those 3D printers for the rest of your life, and you can make whatever you want. And heck, you might actually make a business out of it. Start selling small things on Etsy. Now, will that always work out? Nah, to be honest. I definitely think you need a pre-established crowd of people that are that know you and trust you to give a good product, to be a 3D printer bro or gal, to make a lot of money. But who knows? The only way to succeed in life is to make a jump. If you want to always stay where you're at, don't move. And if you're happy with where you're at, that's okay. Everyone should be comfortable with where they're at. But if you want a better life, sometimes you have to make a risk. Like for me, I took a loan to pay for a certificate training class. It was $4,000, and oh boy, that loan has opened up so many doors to me. And I'll tell you what, I was like super unemployed. I did not know why the bank was like, yeah, we'll give you money. It's like, you're stupid. I can't pay this shit back. You should know this. But it worked out. It might have been because I was just straight up honest. It's like, hey, I'm trying to get a certificate so I can make money. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's not for drugs. It's like, no, it's not for drugs. I know I live in Ohio, but shoot. Yeah, I used to live in Ohio, Akron. Hashtag don't move there. It's not great. There's no job opportunities. There's a lot of crime. That's why I'm really sensitive about crime in Korea right now. It's like, you just always hear gunshots and police and stuff everywhere, even in fairly nice neighborhoods. For Warhammer 40K, the first time I ever saw Warhammer 40K, I was at a Comic-Con as a little kid, and I saw these well, I didn't know what they were. They said Space Marines. It's like, oh wow, I like model kits. I want these Space Marines. And then the guy said, oh, there's a game. It's like, oh wait, there's a game? And probably easily a few $100,000. Yeah, a few $100,000 worth of plastic crap later. I don't really play it anymore in Korea because no one really plays Warhammer. Like, there's actually a Warhammer store in Tokyo, and it looks actually pretty nice. But in Korea, no one does that kind of stuff, which is kind of weird because Korea has more room, like more bigger apartments and stuff compared to Tokyo. But Tokyo has a Warhammer store. It's like, okay, so what are you guys playing? So I do like Warhammer. I was actually part of a podcast, Forge a Narrative, just their social media manager for a while. But I stepped away from that because I got like a real job that paid money. That was like totally voluntarily, and I was like, hey, I like to feed myself, so bye. And was definitely, I don't want to toot my horn too much. If you actually Google search Army 310 bolt, bolter, and chainsword, you'll probably see some of my old Space Wolf painted miniatures. I was heavily into the Horse Heresy before it was cool, hipster stuff. And I like to think that I kind of popularized the old Heresy paint scheme where it was dark gray and reds, because that's how I painted my guys. I don't know if the pictures are still up or not, but who knows. Nowadays, it's just so expensive. I don't know how average people can afford to play Warhammer. It just feels like it's so outside a lot of people's reach. And you're always kind of chasing a dragon. Oh, hey, this new miniature literally makes my old miniatures dookie. I guess I have to get this new miniature to stay kind of competitive. If you want to stay competitive. I'm not even like talking tournament competitive, just like at the store. It's like, no one wants to just play to get their stuff pushed in. I did a little too much. Yeah, that sounds terrifying. To have that much debt. Please be careful, because I think I would cry. Like, there's this one dude. He made a foam Space Marine cosplay. I think it was Primaris Black Templars, and it looks so good. Me and other YouTuber were trying to do 3D printed Warhammer cosplay, but we got a lot of pushback from the community. Not the Warhammer 40k community, but the cosplay community, to the point where it's like, I just don't want to be part of this. And we kind of both step away. It's like, okay, you guys can have your fun. Alright, I'm good. One thing I really like about 3D printing cosplay, it really opens it up to everybody. And like, foam cosplay is definitely more of an art form. And you should have templates to help you out, especially if you're new. But if people won't share templates or sell templates, it feels like they're kind of gatekeeping it, and that's kind of gross. Because you should want everyone to join you. I know some people want to be a special snowflake in their armor. And I guess that's cool, but I don't want to be the only dude in my armor. Like, for this Fallout stuff, I want to see a couple more T-60s standing next to me. I want to have a squad. That's my dream. Like, that's why I put all of these videos out and kind of vlog it, or video log it, or whatever it's called, so anyone can see how to do this and replicate it. Because I don't want to be the only one. But we were talking about movies a little bit ago. I do want to see that Wolverine and Deadpool movie. I think that's going to be a good movie. Ryan Reynolds is going to be playing himself as Deadpool, and I think he's a pretty funny character as a human being. And for Deadpool powers, that means he's just going to be even better. And Wolverine and the Punisher is my favorite Marvel characters. They fit my personality archetypes pretty well. You know, kind of broody, little sad people sometimes, but just want to get stuff done. And they're not really flashy about it. And I can appreciate that. And I like the old school Punisher, where he's like a Vietnam vet, and his family had a really bad time in New York Central Park. When I say that, I try not to get demonetized or have YouTube yell at me, but that was a really good story. It's just like this dude, his superpower, maybe his superpower is to cause crime. I don't know. But he has no real superpowers other than I have gun. And I have a really strong moral compass. Let's go. It's similar to Wolverine too. Like, even though he's like a moody dude, like, he's a stand-up moody dude. Like, he has like a really strong moral compass. He knows what's right and wrong, and he doesn't mind telling you, hey, you're super wrong, dude. And taking care of business. If you notice, when I first started this, I don't care if this gets messed up, I found this on the side of the road. I've only used one squirt of black for the whole entire front and a good portion of the back. So now, just a little bit more, I'll probably get the rest of the back done. Oh, you're playing that board game? That board game looks pretty cool. Yeah, like no one really plays tabletop games here. They play board games. They have like whole entire board game cafes. But that's like more like Monopoly, shooting ladders, trying to destroy your family board games. It's not like, oh, hey, we're going to play Axis and Allies or something like that. That'd be illustrating, but that game, I've seen people take a whole entire week to play one game of Axis and Allies. I can't be that dedicated to something. Even when I was super unemployed. Like the only time I did something that lasts that long while I was unemployed was go to college and get my certifications. See how many jokers are. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll let you do your thing. By the way, I have no idea how I want to paint my X10 armor yet. No idea. I'm debating just doing it silver, just so people can see the details. But at the same time, that's boring to have two silver armors. But it's not like I'm going to be wearing both of them at the same time. But I don't want to do something super outlandish like the new cola version, because it that would require some things I just don't have. Poopies. Oh man. But living in Korea is kind of fun, but at the same time, it's kind of frustrating because like in America, you're used to kind of doing everything yourself. It's like, oh hey, I have a problem, I need to go fix this. Like to change your air filter in Korea for your AC or your air purifier, you take it to a service center instead of just buying a new air filter. It's like, why do I have to talk to somebody? I just need to change out an air filter. It's not like rocket scientists over here. But at the same time, I guess it keeps a lot of people employed. Just all these tasks that you as an individual should be able to do. They're just like, no, you will not be doing that. Also, a lot of things like LG and Samsung, you would think, oh, these should be super cheap in Korea. It's actually more expensive in Korea. If you want to believe that. And it's like, to the point where it's like frustratingly expensive. It's like, why is this literally $3,000 to $4,000, well, not $3,000 to $4,000, $300 to $400 more. The Korean won's in 1,000 base, so that's why I always make a mistake. Also, I made mistakes when I went to Japan, thinking, oh wow, 40,000 won, it's not much, it's like 40 bucks at the time. Everything in Japan's so cheap. They come back as like my bank account's gone. It's like, ah, oh, I'm poor. This sucks. I do want to go on vacation one day, but having a big dog in Korea makes that really difficult. So, like I live literally a 2-hour plane ride away from Tokyo, and I haven't been there, and I've been in Korea for 4 years. Kind of disappointed in that, but I want to trade my dog for anything. He's actually sleeping right over there. He's a really good boy, especially for a husky. Especially for a husky. Most huskies, everyone talks about their little spazzes. Sometimes he spazzes out, but just kind of tell him, hey, chill out. Let's not make people nervous. And he chills out real quick. Mine's not loud as hell. Neither one of my huskies were loud. But then again, when they start getting loud when they were puppies, I probably just yelled at them. And I guess they just learned to shut up. Maybe that's not the best way of doing it, but nowadays they're not loud. But when I had two of them, they never were like lappy lap dogs, just talking all the time. I know my first husky, she would cry when I would go to work or go to school. And it was loud enough to hear through the door. It was like really sad. That's why I got her my current husky. And then she decided to die from cancer back in 2018. It sucked. But luckily for her, it was very quick. Like Monday, she was okay-ish, and then Friday she was really not okay, and then Sunday slash I think maybe Monday morning, she was gone. So it was like 1 week of having bad times for her, which sucked. Also, the freaking veterinarian fees in America were, after everything was done, it's like, oh, we need $500 from you. It's like, you just murdered my dog. And now you want me to pay you $500? I hate you so much. But yeah, I'm not quiet about the dog thing. I'm just quiet about doing this. So don't worry about any of that nonsense. I don't know if anyone's saying that or not. Oh, what light just turned off? Oh, I guess the battery for this died. Yeah, that sucks. Are you guys excited about any movies that are coming out in the near future? Or TV shows or anything like that? Except for the Deadpool one, I'm really not even aware of anything that's coming out. I think Game of Thrones is coming out. I don't know. I know the first season of the new Game of Thrones was really good. It was weird, but good. So I don't know when the next one's coming out. It do suck that it does kind of feel like they're hitting the coals when hitting the iron when the coals are cold and stuff.
There.
Oh. All right. Oh, the TV show? Yeah. Are you talking about the one that's supposed to be on Amazon? I keep on hearing that that might not happen. I was watching the Witcher TV show with Henry, and everyone was liking that. But once I found out that they're not going to do other seasons with them, I didn't watch the rest of the third season. It was like just saw the first half, and I was like, well, what's the point of watching this if I'm not going to get any more? So, so I never finished that, which I kind of feel bad about. But you can't cast the perfect Witcher and then cast somebody else. It's sort of like he's the perfect Superman. You can't cast as someone else as Superman now. Because every single time I think of Superman, it's him. Oh, what's up, buddy? Was I bugging you? Is it okay to drink? You can hear some lapping sound. That's my dog drinking. He kind of just looked at me with like, hey, it's okay for me to drink face. I was like, yeah, it's okay to drink, dude. Like I said, he's like super considerate. He's honestly very similar to me, to a default, where he kind of just asks permission to do normal stuff, which I guess I do too. Like I think there was like a study, I don't know if it was a fake study, because it sounds kind of fake, but cats have the same mental illness as the owners. So I wonder if dogs pick up the same mannerisms as their owners. Which, if that's true, a lot of people who have these super aggressive dogs, these people must be super aggressive at home, and they don't like anyone seeing that. Almost done. Gotta cook. This week is my long week at work. 5 days of 12-hour shifts. So I have to start cooking because I don't have time to cook once I get to work. And nothing's open during the night time for like food wise, unless I go to like drunk people places, and I shouldn't go to drunk people places while I'm at work. It would give a bad perception. I was already told by somebody that we don't get breaks when we're working. And it's like, sir, I work 12-hour shifts. And it's like, well, you still don't get a break. It's like, okay, cool, Jim. That was like, once he said that stuff to me, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm never staying late for work ever again. And he's actually asked me, oh, why don't you finish projects in the same day? It's like, well, I only work 12-hour shifts. And I don't get breaks, so. But he probably thinks I'm a butthole now, but yeah, I am a butthole. But I'm only a butthole because I'm reactive. Alright. I want to do light dry brushing for you guys. Just so you guys get to see it in person. Switch you two out. Alright, so to dry brush, you get a little bit of paint onto your paintbrush. Want to take the vast majority off, and you go put the. You want to go for sort of like this. You just, it should be just barely on. And realistically, it just makes it pop. Hopefully you can see it. It's a very subtle thing. And also, I like to do this with my grains that I kind of did with the pulling down the black. Don't want it to make it clash too much. This paintbrush behind the way. You don't want to overdo this, or it's kind of look janky. Realistically, once I get this bucket done, I'm probably going to just call it quits. Because I gotta cook and do some laundry. Maybe even take a shower. Ah, dang it. I hate my ADD. Once I get into a flow of something, I can't really stop. And it looks so good. I just don't want to stop. I want to just complete it. Oh, poop. Poop, 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 poop. Okay, cool. Cool thing about this, because it's kind of wet, you can't always pull away sometimes. Not the best idea to just go hard and put too much, because you might not be able to pull it off. Now, I don't know if you guys can see how it looks or not, but it looks pretty good so far. So, I've been streaming for 72 minutes. I think that's due calls it quits. I'll make a shorter video of kind of showing this off and then talking about this for you guys. But I'm going to keep the live stream up for everybody. So, use my techniques. That's why I'm filming this stuff, because I want you to use my techniques. Don't feel bad about it. These are not like techniques I had to buy from the black market or something. These are like, honestly, from my Warhammer 40k painting day techniques. Just scaled up to human size. So, use my techniques, make your cosplays cool, and I want to see you do good. Not just in cosplay, like in life too. Don't just focus on make-believe stuff. I want you to have a happy, good life where everything just kind of works out for you. And all your dreams happen. So, with that being said, you guys have a good night. How do I stop this sucker? Is it this one?